Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew, and this is Learn the Lingo. Welcome back to Hebrew Basics, a series where we learn the essentials of Hebrew grammar. Today, we are going to be doing a practice and review of everything we've learned from lessons 69 to 72 in this series. In the first of these lessons, we learned that the root nun kaf resh can be used in a Hofal infinitive to make the verb to know. Roots that begin with nun in the Hofal will be irregular. Instead of the infinitive to know being lahanchir, we'll remove the nun in the shva and put a ragesh in the second root letter kaf. Lahakir, to know. The difference between lahakir and lada'at, which both mean to know, is that lada'at is used when talking about knowing information, and lahakir is used when talking about knowing people. Let's use lahakir to ask the question, do you know my mother? To a group of women. You will be the feminine plural, aten. Know in this sentence is talking about knowing a person, my mother. So in Hebrew will be the verb lahakir. It will be in the present tense and in feminine plural form. The masculine singular form knows is makir, which, like the infinitive, has taken out the nun with its shva and put a ragesh in the second root letter kaf. To make the feminine plural form, we add ot to make makirot, know in feminine plural form. My mother, as the definite direct object of the verb makirot, is et ima sheli. Aten makirot et ima sheli. Do you know my mother? Aten makirot et ima sheli. Another root that is used in the Hofal is zayin mem nun. This makes the Hofal verb lahazmin, which means to invite. Let's use this verb to say, I do not want to invite them, where the I is a man. I is ani, not is lo, and want in masculine singular form is rotse. To invite is lahazmin. And them, as the definite indirect object of the verb, is otam. Ani lo rotze lahazmin otam. I do not want to invite them. Ani lo rotze lahazmin otam. Over these past few lessons, we've also learned a new binyan, which is called the Hofal, which is the passive counterpart to the Hofal. That means if a Hofal verb like lahazmin, to invite, is used in the Hofal, that Hofal verb will have the passive meaning, being invited. Like the other passive binyan we've learned, the pual, the Hofal is only used in three tenses, the present, past, and future. Let's learn how to make the present tense of the Hofal with the root zayin mem nun. The masculine singular form of a Hofal present tense will begin with a mem prefix with a kamatz that makes an o sound. This will be followed by the root letters with a shva and kamatz. Mozman is invited in masculine singular form. The other forms of the Hofal present tense are made the same way the other forms of the pual present tense are. We can add im to mozman to make mozmanim, are invited in masculine plural form, or add ot to make mozmanot, are invited in feminine plural form. We can also take mozman, change its kamatz to a segol, and add an et ending to make mozmenet, is invited in feminine singular form. The Hofal past tense verb, he was invited, is very similar to the masculine singular form of the present tense, mozman. The differences are, the past tense will have a he prefix instead of a mem prefix, and it will have a patach on the second root letter instead of a kamatz. Hozman, he was invited. Let's use a Hofal past tense verb in the sentence, I was invited to his house. The verb I was invited will be the root zayin mem nun in the Hofal binyan. The subject is I, and the tense is past. The simplest form of the past tense, hozman, he was invited, can be changed into the verb I was invited by adding a t ending. Hozmanti, I was invited. to is le, and his house is habayit shelo, the house of him. The la and ha contract to la, making labayit shelo, to his house. Hozmanti labayit shelo. I was invited to his house. Hozmanti labayit shelo. Let's change the subject of this verb was invited to a she. The Hofal past tense verb she was invited will be made from hozman, he was invited, by shortening the patach on the second root letter to a shva and adding the a ending used with past tense verbs whose subject is she. Hozmana, she was invited. Hozmana labayit shelo. She was invited to his house. Hozmana labayit shelo. The same vowel change happens with the subject they. The verb they were invited is hozmanu, with an u ending. Hozmanu labayit shelo. They were invited to his house. None of the other forms of the Hofal past tense change any vowels of the hu form hozman. He was invited. Let's say everything will be explained. Everything is hakol. The verb to explain in Hebrew is lahasbir, which is a Hifil verb. That means that the passive verb will be explained will be in the Hofal binyan. So we'll put the root samek bet resh in a Hofal verb which is in the future tense and whose subject is hu, he. This is because hakol is a masculine word. The Hofal future tense has the same form as the hu form of its past tense. Hozbar, it was explained. We'll just replace the he prefix of the past tense with a future tense prefix. Since the subject of this future tense verb is a he, this prefix will be a yod. Yozbar, it will be explained. Hakol yosbar, everything will be explained. Hakol yosbar. Let's make the verb you will be remembered in masculine singular form. The active verb to remember is in the Hifil, lahaskir. That means the verb will be remembered will be in the passive Hofal. Since the subject is you, masculine singular, this future tense verb will have a tav prefix and will have the root letters zain, kaf, resh. Tozkar, you will be remembered. To say this to a woman, we need to make the subject of this verb at, you, feminine singular. This verb can be made from the masculine singular you form, tozkar, by shortening the vowel on the second root letter, the patach, to a shva, and adding e. Tozkari, you will be remembered, in feminine singular form. The masculine plural form does the same, but with an u ending. Tozkaru, you will be remembered, in masculine plural form. An important note with all these Hofal verbs, the vowel on the prefix can be either a kamatz that says o, or a kubutz that says u. That means mozmenet is invited feminine singular, can also be formed muzmenet. Hozman, he was invited, can also be formed as huzman. It will be explained can be yosbar or yusbar, and you will be remembered can be tozkar or tuzkar. Let's make the Hofal verb we were shown. This will be the passive version of the Hifil verb we showed, hirinu. This Hifil verb from the root resh aleph he is irregular because of its third root letter he. An easy way to make one of these verbs' passive Hofal counterpart is by replacing the first vowel, here a hirik, with a kamatz which says o. Horinu, we were shown. Hofal verbs will also be irregular if their second root letter is a vav or yod that acts as a vowel. In the Hifil, the root bet vav aleph makes the verb lahavi, to bring. That means its Hofal counterpart will mean being brought. The past tense verb he was brought is huva, which does not show the second root letter vav, and the vowel after the he prefix is always an u vowel spelled with a vav with shuruk. Let's make the sentence, the children were brought to the park. The children is hayladim, and the verb were brought will be the they form of this Hofal past tense. This they form is made from the hu, he form, huva, he was brought, by shortening the last vowel to a schwa and adding u. Huvu, they were brought. They being the children. To the park is la park. Hayladim huvu la park. The children were brought to the park. Hayladim huvu la park. Roots whose first root letter is yod, like yod dalet ain, will have this same irregularity in the Hofal binyan. The verb lahodia, from the root yod dalet ain, is a Hifil verb that means to inform. That means its Hofal counterpart will mean being informed. The past tense verb he was informed is huda, which has the same form as huva. Both verbs have removed a root letter, either a first yod or a second vav, and both have the vowel after the he prefix as a vav with shuruk that says u. Let's say ye will be informed soon, speaking to a woman. The verb ye will be informed, masculine singular, speaking to a man, is tuda, the same form as the past tense verb huda, he was informed, but with a future tense tav prefix. To make the feminine singular u form of the future tense, we take tuda, shorten the last vowel to a schwa, and add e. Tur-i, you will be informed, speaking to a woman. Soon is bakarov. Tur-i bakarov, you will be informed soon. Tur-i bakarov. Roots whose first root letter is nun will also have that root letter disappear. The verb lahakir, from the root nun kaf resh, is a Hifil verb that means to know. That means in the Hofal, this root has a meaning of being known. Let's say he is not known. He is hu, not is lo, and is known will be a Hofal verb from the root nun kaf resh. It will also be in the masculine singular form of the present tense. This verb is mukar. It also has a root letter missing, the first nun, and an u vowel on the mem prefix for the present tense. With roots beginning with nun, this u vowel is usually spelled with a kubutz. Hu lo mukar. He is not known. Hu lo mukar. Let's make the verb he was fed. This will be the passive form of the verb to feed, which is the Hifil laha'achil. That means he was fed will be a Hophal verb from the root aleph kaf lamed. It will be in the past tense, and its subject is he. This verb would normally be Hochal. However, there is a schwa on that root letter aleph. If the first root letter of a Hophal verb is a guttural, that is aleph, ein, chet, or hey, we will change the schwa on that letter to a kamat schwa that says o. Ho'ochal, he was fed. If we have a root whose second root letter is a guttural, and a Hofal verb form would put a schwa on that letter, that schwa will be changed to a patach schwa. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share. And if you want to learn more Hebrew, please consider subscribing to my channel and checking out some of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.